I got pregnant with Luca 3 months after I moved back here. So that was a pretty amazing thing. But then also a little bit hard because I was new to the community. I came with a lot of ideas, and I wish that I entered maybe a little bit softer and a little bit slower. But I think that's also just part of the learning. A lot of us, because of colonization and disconnection, have to learn how to return. My name's Lianne Charlie. I am Wolf Clan of the Tagecha-Hudan Big River people. We're Northern Shoshone speaking people, and our traditional territories are in south central Yukon. My mom and sister and I left the Yukon when I was 6 years old, and I grew up in Victoria. My dad attended Lower Post Indian Residential School, which is in northern BC, and struggled for most of his life. He had been in a mining accident and continued to struggle with chest pain. When he went to the hospital, he was turned away. And he passed away on his friend's couch in the night in 1988 at the age of 35. The coroner's report said that he had died of natural causes, and that's never sat well with me. Returning home with my sister has been a really, I think, an important part of our shared journey. She came the year that Luca was born and then decided to stay sort of on a whim.
My name is Lianne Charlie. I only truly started exploring my own indigeneity in my 20s. Whitehorse was one of the first places I saw people being proud of being Indigenous. And down south, that wasn't always the case. And there are some folks who are very kind and open and generous with the knowledge that they share with us. And Lianne has done an incredible job with Luca in showing him the ways of our people.
She actually helped facilitate me get connected because I was at the university, but Caitlin was working way closer with communities. I think my proudest moment was giving birth to Luca and doing the afterbirth ceremony, and then also finally finishing my PhD. So I ended up writing about how making the moose emulated how our families would have governed themselves. Moose actually were part of our decision-making systems. Art allowed us to practice some of these Northern Shoshone ethics and traditional governance systems that I feel we're somewhat disconnected from. I've been reflecting a lot on my ancestors and what they would have needed their bodies to do in order to survive and be comfortable. Caitlin was definitely my link or introduction to powerlifting. I just had Luca and I was feeling really disconnected from my body, and then we just started working out.
It's been a really neat change. There's this different confidence, even the way that she carries herself. So there's one day we were doing these really heavy sled drags and Lianne was struggling. And I was like, Lianne, imagine you're pulling a moose out of the water. So it's been neat to think about how these things in the gym that we do are applicable to our outdoor lives of wanting to reconnect with our culture more and allowing us to be stronger women and showing that that's okay.
I made this mural with the help of Taya Rear, who's a Tlingit youth. We shared a little bit about the story of the dam across the Tagecho, the Yukon River here. So it wasn't until about 3 years in that they built the fish ladder. We interpreted that story thinking about challenges that some Indigenous youth are facing. We imagined the fish sort of leaping over the dam, just being able to live these full, healthy lives despite these tough environmental situations. Through my job at Deshinta as an educator, I get to meet a lot of young people that actually are on a similar journey to me, that have been raised by white parents. And it takes so much courage to say out loud what you're going through and to say what you need in order to feel good, feel safe, feel loved. If I could tell Indigenous youth one thing, it would be to keep showing up.